GRVYNTS. These are the letters I once saw adorning a vanity license plate that I got stuck behind on the interstate. I was behind this guy for an hour trying to decipher the meaning of it. After much deliberation, I finally decided that it spelled gravy nuts. About 6 months later, I ran into Gravy Nuts at a gas station just randomly by happenstance. I got a chance to ask him what his license plate meant. He just smiled and laughed and said it was his nickname in high school before he got in his truck and left. The mind reels at the horrors that might happen and to force the moniker of Gravy Nuts onto a person. Was it an accident at a buffet? Perhaps an unfortunate public display of condiments. Or, worst case scenario, a publicly known and odorous STD had taken hold of his young life. If you meet Gravy Nuts in public, don't shake his hand. Welcome back to Sketch Comedy. I'm your host, the Chalk Guy. This time around, I'm chalking an homage to stand-up comedy. Comedians and comedy are one of the last bastions of truly honest discourse left in the world. If you really want to know the truth about something, ask a comedian. They always keep it 100, unless they're trying to get lit or laid. I used to perform stand-up on a regular basis. I did shows in Nashville and Atlanta for almost a decade. Then stuff happened and I couldn't drive anymore, and to be a true pro comedian, you've got to be able to travel. If you can't drive, you can't make it to shows and you can't get on stage. If you can't get on stage, you can't tell jokes to strangers and make them laugh hard enough to spray $7 gin and tonics out of their noses. If you can't do that, you don't have a future in stand-up. This time around, I was joined by a young lady named Julia. She hung with me for a little while. I'm always cool with people just chilling with me, just sitting down and having a talk. She wanted to shoot some pictures for her photojournalism class. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? The image I'm drawing specifically honors Ron Funches. He's a hilarious comedian who currently stars on the show Powerless. He co-starred on a previous show called Undateable Live. He's also frequently a guest on Comedy Central's At Midnight program at 11:30. In each case, he's always a source of comedy gold. In this image, he's reimagined as Ronnie the Pooh. Ronnie the Pooh, Ronnie the Pooh, do-do-do-do-do-do, Ronnie the Pooh. Sing it with me. No, don't. If you're familiar with Funches already, you'll get the joke. He's a big cuddly guy, you just want to hug him. If I ever met him in real life, I think my initial instinct would just be to run up and hug the guy, and then get punched in the face and suplexed for hugging a guy who doesn't know who I am. I wouldn't be surprised by it, though. Funches is also associated with the phrase, get high and watch wrestling. I'd have to assume that if I appeared from nowhere and just hugged him, he'd probably be a little bit high, and also probably knows how to instinctively deliver a people's elbow. On second thought, I probably should introduce myself before I try and hug him if I ever saw him. Being a comedian, it's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of late nights. If you're not a night owl, maybe it's not for you. Comedians are by nature not morning people. However, if you're interested in being a stand-up comedian and want to go that route, it's a ton of fun. I highly recommend it if you can do it. But if you want to do it, start keeping a notebook. Write everything down. Every little pun or quip or little anecdote that comes into your head, write it down so you don't forget it. You never know when you're going to need it later. You never know what jokes are going to hit, what jokes are going to fail. It's different from room to room. You might do one joke in one room and it kills. And then next week you'll do it in a different room and crickets. Not a single laugh in the house. You never know until you try, so by all means, give it a try. It's probably easier to find a stage if you're in a more urban area. I'm in a suburban college town. Haven't found a stage yet. It kind of sucks. But I do this now, so it's fun. I still have all my notebooks and jokes, but no stages to play. Perhaps someday I'll be able to get back up there, but not today. If you see Ron Funches around, point him towards my YouTube. I'd like him to see this one. I think he might find it funny. And if you see me out on the sidewalk, come by, say hi. Drop a buck in the hat. I always appreciate a visitor or two. Sorry for the thumbprint. I'm not good with my camera phone. But I hope you enjoyed Ronnie the Pooh. Ronnie the Pooh, Ronnie the Pooh, do 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 do.